Okay, good morning, everyone. I thank to platform, Cristina Vigliatti and Luca Molinari for the invitation and the great opportunity. My name is Luca Compri. I founded my studio, my office, LCA Architetti in 2001. And I live and I work in a woods. For this reason, my English is a little bit rusty, and I try to speak in English, and you try to understand me, please. Okay. I'm dealing with architecture for 25 years that a lot of people call sustainable architecture. But for me, sustainable architecture doesn't exist. As Soto de Mura says, it exists only good architecture. I say this because in my early of education, who taught me about sustainable architecture was interested only in energy and the performance aspect. These buildings were similar to each other from small to big scale, and the context and the architecture become secondary matters. For this reason, construction needs, of course, square meters, cube meters, energy, surface, but architecture needs other things: space, light, emotion, poetry. When we visit real architecture for the first time, our thought goes to amazing beauty. Only after, a lot of time after, we think about the walls, the stratigraphies, the energy, the conception. But what is in the architecture? But what is new in the architecture today then? There is a very simple concept. For the first time in July 1969, the man took a photo of our planet for the moon and realized the Earth had borders. And realize this directly with your eyes, that this planet could offer only limited resource. So we need to continue to make good architecture, but doing so with natural materials and energy that come with renewable resources. Now I talk about my project, Chalet, and a small sustainable hotel built at the shadow of Cervino. When we design a new building, we always deal with the context. And the first question is, what landscape does Cervinia and the Alps marks more in general? When we think about the mountains, about the Alps, we think about a bucolic landscape, like Heidi. Do you know Heidi? Made of nature and clean air. All the Alps, they are similar to an archipelago surrounded by the sea. The landscape is so much various and complex. Some photographer has been invited to take some photos of the Alps, and their view, not used to the mountains, has captured this landscape in very opposite ways. In this way, and Cervinia has two landscapes. The first one above the horizon made of the nature and the beauty. And the second one under the mountain made of construction, in a lot of cases of low quality. I believe in a Darwinian architecture. Darwin pointed out the evolution is in the mistake. One infinitesimal variation of DNA can provoke disaster or start an evolution positive challenge. If the rule normal DNA is this, I prefer work on the error. And as you can tell, the landscape didn't give me simple answer. In fact, we worked trying to find other reference. In between these reference, the most interesting and real one was about population, Walser, the Alps colonizer. Walser were a nomad population that conquered various parts of the Alpine territory, adapting themselves to the freezing climate and the hostile environment of the mountains. Their people start to build particularly interesting for architecture, alpine architecture, and start to open to a fixed construction technique that will deal with prefabrication with wood. In their houses, there are three characteristic elements: a solid basement made of stone, a big box made of wood lean on this basement, and big central stube for heating system of the house. We try to put together the technology and the constructive aspect with the harmony, deeply connect to your client, a classic ballet dancer. Let's see the project in detail. In this slide, we can observe the place where we built Chalet B. It's about a very long and sloping narrow ground. The service plan of the basement has only the serving function, like a garage, technical locker, sky storage, etc., etc. On the ground floor take place the principal entrance of the building, a disabled room, and the spa that face the garden on the east side with hydromassage pool, sauna, bagno turco. The first floor in the room floor is the room floor. Every room is equipped with private bath and terrace. The last floor, the second one, is an open space with a sharing kitchen, a big dining room, a living room, and a great chimney that remind of the stube in the Walser architecture. The main peculiarity of this plan as the terrace that are designed with a broken line in plan. The border evoke the style of the covering and the skyline of the surrounding mountains. In this section, you can observe the space of the active floor. The opening are designed to thought in coordination with the view and the panoramic view. Here you can see the first sketches of the front, of the south front. The prospects are more open and glazed. Here, instead, you can see the definite drawing of the south facade with the basement made of stone and the wood volume above this one. You can see also more contemporary drawing of the Brie Soleil. In this photo, you can see the chalet built and insert both in the construction costume and the natural context that surrounds it. This is an axo. The picture of this building made to same point of view, like an axo. At the east front, we have a big loggia that look over Cervino and the mountains. In this sketch, we can see the north prospect, the front that look over the other houses, and that it more exposed to cold wind, is more close and more hard. The definitive drawings of the north prospect where it is possible to observe both the small dimension of the windows and the treatment with the vertical slats, like an elegant abito gessato. An axo. A photo of the building built where it's possible to see how the windows have been designed and in connection to the context. Every opening is thought to frame a characteristic element of the landscape, thanks also to the drawing and the frame that are built of the external border of the terrace. In this photo, you can notice the vertical slats and the broken line of the roof. A constructive detail, a picture where you can see the magic space of the terrace, the broken line, and the vertical slats. A detail of Brie Soleil, a photo of the atmosphere that distinguishes the internal space, other detail, a photo of the shared kitchen. And as I anticipated before, the building is built with natural material. X-lam for the wall, for the structure, and stone for the wall on the basement floor. See another detail. For the internal walls, the decision led to use natural fiber plaster isolated with hemp. For some elements, we use rug iron, such as, for example, the great chimney inside. This is a short story of the Chalet B project is bound with the great mountain called Cerveno. Sorry for my English. Thank you everybody for attention, and I say thank you for my team that work with me at all these projects that I made in my office. Thank you very much.